Morning, Ian. You right?
Good, thanks, mate. Did everyone pull up all right from the West Brom game? I know Luke went off sort of late on, but it looked like cramp. Is he okay for Saturday?
Yeah, I don't think there's any injuries sustained in the game. So yeah, I'm happy to hopefully be adding players to the squad rather than losing them. So yeah, we've got some players who've been training, which is good, and Tyler Roberts could well be involved at some stage. So yeah, we're getting stronger now. Couple still injured from the international break. We'll have a look at them too. And even Jake has been out on the grass, so that's really good news as well. So yeah, really pleased.
In your head, are you sort of the second half at West Brom? Did it kind of crystallise a few things in your mind about what potentially your best side is, or are you still sort of very much sort of playing about, seeing what works and what doesn't work?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some really talented players who didn't start the game, so no, I think best side for each game is important. But no, it was a good performance from the boys, yeah, without a doubt. And I told them afterwards I was really pleased with the performance they gave, and it was about legs and recovery, and like I say, anyone picking up knocks. I've not really managed to field the same team much since I've come in. I think I've done it once, and we had a bad result after that, 6-1 at Blackpool after fielding the same team at Watford. But no. Again, we'll assess each game as an individual and see how it comes. But no, I don't think we picked up any injuries from Saturday, which is good.
The last home game against Preston was a pretty bleak affair. The atmosphere around the ground wasn't the nicest at the final whistle. Obviously, you weren't happy at all with what happened on the field. I mean, what did you learn from that game at Preston that you can rectify against a Coventry side that's in a similar position to where Preston are on the table?
Yeah, well, West Brom were in a similar position as well. So, we learned plenty against Preston. I learned plenty about individual players, about about who can maybe adapt to my way of playing, my intensity, and who may need to adapt their game. I thought for 55 minutes there wasn't much between the teams. I think it was a little bit of nervousness around the place, which I don't want. I want people to be super confident and say, doesn't matter what happens, we're going to give it a go. Don't be nervous, because when you're nervous about things, they usually happen. So we learned plenty about that game. There's still some organisational stuff that we need to work on, that we're constantly working and tinkering with all the time, because these boys are great footballers, but sometimes in the structure and the organisational side, defensively, they can get in their own positions, or can end up ball watching. And but we've got to make sure that we carry on from West Brom. We put Preston to bed on the Saturday with the mental meeting that we had. This side of the game that's huge for me. I don't think it's been addressed as well as it could have been here. I think we've got to really tap into that, because it's a massive part of the game. But again, set pieces were a key at West Brom. We've got to make sure we're better at them. That's not good enough to concede from 2 set plays, even though one was handball and should have been pulled up by the referee. Makes it even harder to accept. But as long as we get it back in these next 5 games, I'll take it.
You obviously had a chance to analyse the West Brom game. Looking back, Jimmy Dunne plays a right back. I think it's the first time he's played there in his QPR career. How do you think he did in that role?
Yeah, he did okay. It's the first time he's played there in QPR role, but he's played there many times. He was on loan at Accrington Stanley. I remember him playing there. I think for Ireland as well. So it's not a role he's not accustomed to. I think centre halves should be able to play right back, as long as they've got the physical attributes. And thought Jimmy did well there. Yeah, there's a couple of things we pick up on him, but keep them in house. But no, he's always a threat from set pieces as well, which is good to have Jimmy in the team. And a great lad, still learning his game. Really still young and missed out on a lot of first team football because he was sort of held back a little bit at Man U and Burnley and not playing first team games. So again, still developing, in his early 20s, and we'll make sure that he's if he does play there again, he'll be decent for us there.
His role as a right back, I mean, I guess he's not what you consider a natural kind of attacking, bombing forward right back. Is that something you don't want him to do, or is that kind of, is he in there to do a different sort of role to what, say, Ethan Laird has done in the past?
No, I think they're both super quick. They both can get forward. So Yeah, Jimmy can definitely get forward and get crosses in. I think he had a couple of attempts to get crosses in on Monday, and they were blocked. But yeah, you can't have your right back sitting in all the time. It won't be good. The beauty is we had Albert in front of him, who obviously it's difficult to overlap Albert because he's very direct. He gets at fullbacks and gets his crosses in. So that was it's all thought of. There's no like, let's just get the bingo machine out and pick the numbers out. It's a real structure towards it. But Jimmy, we thought, could do the job, but I still want him to get forward and get his crosses in and back up play. Undoubtedly, he's got the physical attributes to do that because he's quick.
Okay, I just looking at Coventry. I mean, Gyökeres is obviously they're my man, really good player, very quick. He's gonna be a handful.
Sorry, who was that?
Gyökeres,
yeah. No, he's very good centre forward. Yeah. You paid a lot of good money for him and Hamer in midfield. They're paying him decent money. Mark Robbins is very astute, and Eddie Vivash, they're very good at what they've done. I think testament to when they came up through the leagues, very similar to what we did in my last club, and had a lot of battles against Mark, and testament to their owners, for sticking with him in some tough times. I think that he's able to build his philosophy, and I think it shows that getting your signings in is key, really key. Gyökeres is a handful. I think he's one of the top scorers in the league, if not the top scorer, and he's going to have to be watched. It's a great bit of business they did getting him in. And yeah, we're under no illusions that this will be a tough game. Which is now, so he's once that happens, his next step is getting into the squad and in the team and in the B team maybe for a game. So I don't think you've seen the last of Jake Clarke-Salter this season. I think he'll be back by the end of the season with some game time, which is great to know because I really rate Jake, and hopefully he can be a bonus for us coming up towards the end of the season. But he won't be involved this weekend. He'll be involved, yeah. He's been he went back to Leeds for a week or so, came back down, more treatment and more rehabs outside, and yep, he's looking sharp in training now, which is great. But obviously been out a long time, and we've got to be careful. We don't want any reoccurrences with Salah, but everyone's going to panic about this game, but there's 4 games after this game. If we can utilise him for those games, that'd be brilliant. But you never know, he might make the squad for this new injuries, and I'm not sure. I'm being genuine. I'm not sure. I'm spoken to the medical team this morning. I know that both are getting a bit closer, and both have been seen outside again. So they're both on the pitches. They're off the initial acute stage. We'll see where we are with those two. But we hope to have a real full squad in a week or so, and be able to attack these last 4 games with a full quota. That would help me.